this stream pretty quick, simple, probably 20 minutes max. I just want to say, hey, I'm alive. Sorry for the ultra long break. Go live, mobile. Hopefully my mic works. Let's just see what happens. I got concussed. Concussed. Head go. Me can fall. Oh boy. Shave. Allergies. I don't want to shave this because I don't want to look any younger than I always seem. So, unfortunately, my double chin is back. Wait. Let's just talk for a little bit and see what happens. I'm still a little out there. I haven't gotten full control of my brain yet, but for the most part, we should be okay. I have to rescue the cat. Be right back. No, I'll bring you with me. Cat likes being in here unless the dog is out. Then he kind of hates life. When the dog is in his cage or in his area, he loves being here. But as soon as the dog pats this chair, basically, or is on the chair, he gets terrified. So. There's the dog for the day. The dog wanted to say something. But yeah, the concussion, in all seriousness. The concussion, ooh boy. Yeah, let's just say if I wasn't afraid of blood draws before, I am now ultra terrified. Let's just start with the beginning of how this happened. I went in for my blood draw, physical, checking how healthy I am, which always ends up confusing the doctors why I can't lose weight. And everything went fine with the blood draw. My typical reactions happened. I was feeling my foot, I get a little dizzy, but nothing like how it usually is. Usually I'm looking at like I drunk 10 pints of beer and smoked 3 packs of weed, and I'm like a pilot on a ship with how bad I am, like wobbling and staying stability. This time I was like, oh, nothing really happening. Okay, I like this. I like how this is going. Next thing I know, I decide to lean back into the chair. And the chair is one of those stable ones. It's not like a walking chair or recliner. It was a proper, sturdy wooden chair with an armbar attached, like trapping you in. I lean back. Blacked out. That's the thing I remember. I was getting lifted off the ground, literally feeling the fall off my nose. Coming up, and I looked like I was watching the beginning of Speed Racer but desaturated. With how things were moving, gyroscopes, dizziness. It was the first time I ever felt that. And I never wanted to feel it again. And then I was like in and out of going to sleep, waking up, answering questions. Surprisingly accurate. They were amazed how aware or unaware I was. I was able to spell my name. I was able to give them the correct birth date, the city I was in. I was able to respond pretty accurately to everything. What you mean? Um, the I was surprisingly accurate when it came to answering questions during this whole situation. Then, like clockwork, that's when I know. Where were you concussed? I was a concussed at the doctor's office, getting my blood drawn. You're giving me mixed vibes, my dude. I plead the fifth on that question. Anyways, the somehow I was able to respond to questions asked about self-awareness, how good was I, pain scale, even though I was literally in a dizzy wonderland. Nah, I am a truck lover. Get it right, my god. I know he's a bot, I can tell. Like, it's so obvious. I just like toying around, making the person behind the bot think they have me, but it's not the case. Since my mods are not here yet, I'll just do this, and we should be good. Usually a mod shows up by now, like at least one of my hidden mods that don't comment or anything in chat, but I guess Babe wasn't able to make it. So, Matthew, and Pringles, just to play it safe. Long story short, I went in to get blood work. I have a phobia of seeing my own blood and feeling my own blood leaving. That is something that I have, and I had since I was a kid. Seeing other people's blood doesn't faze me. Seeing my own blood, I turn into a bitch. So, the blood draw went well, and I guess I leaned my head back too fast, and I literally passed out. And next thing I know, I'm licking the floor with my face. And I will redo the thumbnail for this stream afterwards because I couldn't find it of my skull, which thankfully, due to my dad being a former firefighter, was able to help remove it as much as possible. You can kind of see the remains of it. It was a gnarly size thing. It looked like I was trying to grow a unicorn thing off my forehead. So, but yeah, that's thing I know after answering questions 100% accurate and going back to sleep, I finally came to and was able to stay up in the ambulance, taken to the hospital, which I'm like, fuck. I don't have the funds for this. That was my first thought, not, why am I not able to stay up, or where the hell am I? It's fuck. I'm gonna be broke. So, over the next few days, I finally found the cue to insomnia, and I was able to finally have good night's sleep. But at the same time, it screwed up my sleep day and night schedule, which I'm still trying to recover from. I basically become a nighttime owl because this light was too bright for me, and this is like 20% power. And that light is still kind of too bright for me. Borderline too much. So, I'm still recovering. But for the most part, I am level ground. As long as I don't get up too fast or do too much, I'm fine. Thankfully, now. But the whole experience of the concussion just reinforced my fear of doctors and nurses not realizing how to take care of someone when they have a needle issue. Because I sometimes pass out when I get my blood work in the past. Sometimes in the chair, sometimes on the bed, but usually they stay by you until you're able to get up. But sometimes they leave you alone. This nurse decided to do her laptop work on the other side of the room and was in the process of leaving when this happened. So, yeah. So, if you haven't like, comment, subscribe, please do. Because I need all the funds I can get at this point. Because apparently during all this, I was able to test my parents what happened. Literally, I don't remember doing this. And my parents were literally pulling into the parking lot of my clinic when they put me in the ambulance, and the ambulance people basically kidnapped me by refusing to have me leave to go with my parents. Which I'm like, come on. So, for about a 7-minute ride, it probably will cost me anywhere between $300 to maybe $6,000, depends on how much the insurance give a damn about us. So, that's the story of me being concussed. I wish I can give more details, but I literally could not remember almost anything. Basically, I remember blood work, fine, fall, coming to an ambulance while I'm being like, damn it. My experience at the ER, which is the typical ER experience. Coming home and being bedridden and feeling useless for like a week. So, that's why there haven't been any live streams or videos, because I literally have not had the energy or the mental capacity for it. Today I'm just doing a quick stream, see if my body is okay with doing this. It should. I may be able to go one more live through mobile again and just see what happens. For the people in the live stream, if you have any questions, I will try my hardest to answer, but legitimately, I only remember some aspects of it. And I wish now I had the PC, because I have it saved somewhere on my PC. So, oh yeah, the headaches doesn't stop. I already have chronic migraines, so now it just elevates it, so any headache is constant now. So, guy with brain issues gets even more brain issues. Yippee! Other than that, there has been really much going on. For one, happy Pride. Secondly, I finally got the garage door sealed properly. So, my room is now semi-insulated, because I have learned recently that 2.5 of these walls were insulated. It's just the wall behind me and the upper part of this wall that is not insulated. So, summer this time will be so much simpler than last time. Because last year, anything above 80 degrees, this room was not livable. Now, it's 82 currently where I'm at. And I'm here comfortable. So, progress is being made. Just slower than I would like, because life keeps screwing me over. Sometimes my fault, sometimes other people's fault. So, that was basically the last couple weeks. Not a lot of exciting news, just more things to add to my list of things that has happened to me. I want it because I've done so many different sports where I should have gotten a concussion and I haven't. But being at a clinic, being at a doctor's office got me a concussion. Like, ah! What's the odds? What are the odds? When I eventually start streaming on my PC again, because games right now is a I will answer your question in a second, Matthew, because that's a good question. And you also know what a romantic is. Yes, someone finally knows what we are. Damn it! You don't realize how many people do not know doesn't even know what a romantic could be. So, yay. I tried playing a game on my monitor and it was too much for me. So, hopefully next week I can start playing games again. Anyways, my experience being a romantic bisexual. Let me get the easy part out, the bisexual. It's fun, but you would think you'd get more options because you got guys and gals. But let me just say this. My type of guy typically ends up being either hyper fruity or hyper straight. No in between. And my type of gal, 100% always lesbian, and it pisses me off. I have unique tastes. A romantic part is something I only learned about a couple years ago, and it clicked why I have always had these issues. For people who do not know, because that's a lot of people, aromantic is a spectrum ranging from, I just don't feel romantic energy. I don't have this sense of romance. The kissing, hand-holding, dates and stuff doesn't feel natural to me. To anything remotely hand-holding, you literally throw up at. That's the spectrum. I'm on the side of it just doesn't feel natural. Even when I was like, in my head at the time, love with someone, it was no different than how I treated my best friend or my friends. I literally can't feel anything beyond a friend. So the best way to describe my situation, because while I don't have much romantic feeling, I do have sexual feelings. My partner is basically a buddy of mine who I feel comfortable having Minecraft bed wars in, basically. That's my experience. And that's how it's been. The last few partners I have, I try doing dates, but it always felt unnatural. I always felt like I was lying to them. Like, honestly, the feeling that I have talking to you, random people on the internet and the people that like to comment, the feeling that you and I may have is probably the most romantic feeling I have. Now, that doesn't mean bedroll time. I do have a demisexual part of it, which I don't like adding because that's too many sexualities and it confuses the hell out of people. I consider myself also that, but again, too complex for a lot of people's small brains. Because I have to get to know someone for a long time as a friend before I do any bedroll tango. Like, typically, from my experience, a year plus. After a year plus and I feel comfortable, we hung out through non-work base or non-school base, and you help me out, I help you out, and we want to try something, I'd be willing to. But don't expect me to be like, hey, we're dating. And if you want to be a partner and anything like that, well, I will feel really uncomfortable by it. You have to make it crystal clear, hey, just you and me, no one else, if you want it to be a mono. That type of thing. You have to make it crystal clear, and I will follow it. I'm not going to be a cheating hoe, or whore, or prostitute. I am willing to be a partner, even though it would feel a little unnatural for me, as long as you make it clear. Hopefully that makes sense. That's from my experience. You also have to remember I have autism, so that adds another factor to everything. If you can tell, I'm a pretzel match of so many bloody different things. Italian, British, Irish family, living in the Midwest, but also a part of the family grew up in the South, so I got Southern in it as well. You got me living on the edge of a witch area and a hood area, so I have those two blends as well, and autism, depression, PTSD, so many different pride stuff. I'm a bundle of joy, and so many layers of an onion. Dog, you're not supposed to jump off of my chair like that. And you wonder why your knees are hurting. If you wanted to know who I was yelling at, he's an old dog at this point, and he shouldn't be jumping off of my chair, but he has the habit of doing that. Usually he gives me a sign when he runs down, but today was not that day. Let me ask you one up here. Nope. Okay, he wants to explore my room again. So, yeah, that's basically my experience. It is I'm still learning about myself. There's so many different terms I'm still trying to learn. Like, I only learned recently what omnisexual was, and I'm like, that makes sense. And just constantly learn. If you're not spending every day learning something, even for those who are like, ew, pride, which I still don't understand why it wouldn't affect you. Just try and learn something that you never thought of learning. Like, because of me having to rewire my entire room because the previous owner of the house completely janked this up, and my electric cousin worker came here and basically told me that I will have to tear up my room to electrical wire everything again to make it not only safe but usable. I've been slowly trying to learn how to do electricity. So, even though I'm not a handyman type of guy. So, hey, constantly learn. If you're not learning something new every day, or at least taking peeks into something new every day, you're not living. That's honestly what I gotta say. This could be also things that you love. If you're not learning something that you love every day, then what's the point of saying you love something? So, any more questions for people in chat before I hang up? Because this is just going to be a short live stream. Just giving people a look that I'm alive and what happened. I just didn't feel like doing a video. I feel like doing it live would be better. Oh yeah, in case people didn't see the beginning of the live stream or people got confused, I had an allergic reaction to something. I'm still trying to learn because that means I have a new allergy somewhere in this house that got me good over here, and I have to shave as much of it off as possible because it was getting down to here. So unfortunately, I have to do this mustache, which I've never liked, but I hate being without facial hair, so I'm rocking the mustache for a while, which I hate. It's either that or I do a 50-50 or one of those weird rich people things I saw a while ago on the internet where they did a mustache and half of facial hair, which I thought was the ugliest thing on earth. So, one more live stream tomorrow, and that live stream I'm gonna hopefully be able to do more than just talk about one particular thing, and hopefully not as bad of a headache. / no time limit. And Friday, knock on wood. I can't reach. Son of a bitch. I should be able to at least do a live stream on my PC. Give that a go, just another chatting. And then hopefully afterwards we should be doing gaming stuff Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. At least until I feel like we can get more of an audience to do my roleplay, my interactive ideas that I have in my head, because I need people in order to do my bigger ideas. So, we have to get the hook out again and then wire people back in. Also, heads up, make sure if you do have the bell on, make sure you have it set to all. If you have it set on to personalize, it will only give you that type of content from that creator. So let's say hypothetically I did FNAF and Undertale videos. If you hit the bell and left on personalized for FNAF, you'll only get my FNAF videos instead of my Undertale and FNAF. Makes no sense. That's something I have learned and it finally understood, and it's also why a lot of people I've talked to on other videos say, wait, you are still around? I thought you'd stop. Because they only get one particular type of reaction and nothing else of my other reactions. So, aka YouTube making things more complicated than it needs to be. Anyways, I'm going to end it here. Peace.